Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a Snapchat Q&A, and my Snapchat is Carah Amelie, all lowercase, no spaces, so Carah Amelie, like one word. So check out my Snapchat if you want to be part of the next one of these. I love doing Snapchat Q&As, and whenever I do Q&As, I tend to ask on Snapchat. I just realized my crickets are being really chirpy, so I will be right back. I'm going to go put them away. Ow! Ow! Look! That is a thumbtack! That is the first time I've ever stepped on a thumbtack. Emergency, be right back. All right guys, I'm back. My crickets are put away. I have a Olaf band-aid on my foot, and we are gonna get started. Do you know what I've been really into watching lately actually is the Reel clips from the show. It's kind of like a talk show, kind of like The View or like The Talk, but it's more like, they're much more like open to share things about themselves, which I love. And I actually don't get that show on TV, so I watch the clips literally all night. Like I will just sit on my computer and watch the Reel clips because I love Adrienne Bailon. I think she is the most beautiful person in the world, and I just love that show. And I used to watch, you know, Tamara Mowry on Sister Sister and stuff like that, so I've been obsessed with the Reel clips. I've also been really into Michelle Platti. She does like conspiracy theory type videos. She does a lot of like weird concepts videos, which I love those. They're so funny. She does like weird things that I thought when I was a kid type videos. She just does really unique videos and I really like them. And another person in the same realm of kind of topics, her name is Kendall Ray, and she does a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of like unsolved mystery type videos, and she does a really good job at explaining things and like making it really interesting, and she like condenses it all so it's all in one video. And she does some really cool and unique videos, and I love them. I think they're so unique to YouTube, which is why I love her so much, and I think she does a really good job delivering her content. Keisha J, which we don't have similar decorating styles, but she does like decorating videos and stuff like that. And I've been really into her videos lately because I've been inspired by people that do like home decor type of videos, and I've been really into her lately. One girl's videos that I actually binge watched recently was Hobo Alley, and she's a YouTuber that actually lives in her car. Or I guess she lives in like a van now or something, but she talks about living in a car, and she doesn't do it because she has to, she does it because she wants to. And she just talks about what it's like, and I just found her content really interesting because I never actually met somebody that lives in their car, so I loved hearing her story. So this question is from Leanna Joy 95. I'm getting married in October, so my question is, what is one thing you would change about your wedding if you could, or some advice about handling this stress? Well, I was really lucky because I had my mom to help me, and if any of you guys know my mom from like my vlogs and stuff, she's the most organized, most amazing Martha Stewart mother in the whole entire world, and if it wasn't for her, I would be like a lost soul because she's the one that like helps me with those types of things. But if I could do one thing differently about my wedding, it would be to get a videographer. I was so stupid and I didn't get a videographer. I was like, oh, like pictures will be fine. Like I didn't vlog back then. I think I had started YouTube like 2 weeks before. And so I didn't get any video footage of my wedding unless somebody took like some video with their phone or something, but that was in like 2009 is when I got married. So video phones and stuff weren't quite as big then. So I didn't have Pinterest at the time of my wedding, which sucked because I think Pinterest came out like a couple years later, and that would have been a huge help because I had no idea how to decorate for a wedding. Like I wasn't in that mindset. Like I feel like I was kind of young when I got married, maybe not, I don't know. But I just wasn't in that decorating mindset. Like I didn't have any good ideas, any unique ideas. I just kind of had done what I've seen in like other pictures, or, you know, there wasn't like a Pinterest or anything like that back then. So I feel like trying to find some cheap ways to do some fun DIYs, because I think every little detail, even if it isn't very expensive, is gonna make a huge difference to how your wedding looks. So I wish I would have had something like that, or I wish that I would have kind of thought a little bit more creatively on how to do some cool DIYs or decorating type of things. What is the hardest part about raising kids, and what part is the most fun? I would say the part that's most fun is probably doing things that you remember as a kid, like doing Christmas, doing Easter, taking them to like the beach or to like Disneyland, stuff like that. Doing those like really fun things that you remember as a kid, because you can make it magical, and it's almost as if you're like living through your kids again. You're kind of reliving that childlike quality that you remember as a kid, and I love that. And my goal as a parent is to be able to travel and take my kids to some of the places that I went to, and just creating that magical childhood that I had, you know, when it comes to like Christmas morning and traveling to Disneyland and, you know, Enchanted Forest and doing all those really fun things. Like, that's what's the funnest, because you just remember it so strongly from when you were a kid. Like, you want to make those strong memories for your kids, you know, so that's what I really like. The thing that's probably the hardest for me, sleep. Honestly, not getting enough sleep is really hard, and at times, sometimes you just want to be like, I just want to sleep in, like that's all I want. And sometimes it's hard because you feel like your sleep cycle is completely controlled by somebody else. And if you're somebody that loves sleep like me, or you have really weird sleeping hours, like I go to sleep at like 12 o'clock at night, like 12 o'clock in the morning, it's hard because like it's controlled by somebody else basically. So that's really hard for me, honestly. Like, that's why on weekends me and Travis will do, he sleeps in on Saturday mornings and I sleep in on Sunday mornings, because we just need our sleep. Like, me and Travis are both like night owls and we're not morning people at all. Kaylee Jade 44. How long have you been drawing? Okay, so if you guys didn't know, I have a drawing Instagram account, and it is Carah Amelie Art. So it's basically just Carah Amelie Art, all one word, all lowercase letters, and it's where I post like my art stuff. You guys have seen videos on here. And I have to say, like, I've been interested in art my whole entire life. I've always drawn, and I've always drawn the same things. I've always drawn girls. I don't know why, I just like drawing girls. And I've done that ever since I was like in middle school. But when I really started getting serious about art, I was like, I'm gonna say 20 is about when I really got serious with doing art and like kind of figuring out what my style is. And that's kind of when I really started to hone in and practice. But I went like a lot of years not drawing. So it's just about, when you're young, practicing, watching other people, seeing what other people do, and just practice, 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 practice. I've been practicing, I'm 31 now, so I've been practicing for a really long time. Still not the best artist in the world. I know I'm not. I have a lot of stuff to work on, but I feel like just practicing is what makes perfect, and the more you draw, the better you're gonna get. And sometimes it can be really frustrating because you want to be a good artist like right away. I still have those feelings sometimes where I feel like there's people that are better than me and I just want to be a better artist. Like, I can't draw hands for the life of me. No matter how hard I try, I have the hardest time with hands. So I really have to work on my hands. And sometimes I just get so frustrated with myself because I just want to be good right now. Like, I don't want to have to practice to get there, but I know that I have to practice. So I've been drawing for a long time, but I really started honing in on it when I was about 20. So if that answers your question, I hope it does. How long did it take Emery and Elena to say mama, or did they say dada first? I think Emery said dada first, and I think Elena said, I think dada is an easier thing for kids to say versus mama. So don't be surprised if they say dada first, because I think it's a pretty common thing. But Elena talked way sooner than Emery. Elena was like talking in full sentences, super, super young. She still has a huge vocabulary, and Emery talked later. So honestly, I can't remember the exact age that they started talking. I really can't remember. I'm horrible about remembering these types of things, like how old they were when they got their first tooth and how old they were when they, you know, did this or that, or when I weaned them. Like, I'm horrible at remembering ages and times and dates and all of that stuff. But don't get too hard on yourself with how and when your kid starts to talk, because it's different for all kids. And I've really noticed this, especially with my two girls, with Elena being so early with talking. So they were completely different in that way. So don't stress about it. I know sometimes the doctors will make you stress about it, but trust me, they will be okay, I promise. This is by Nua Waleno. Nua Waleno. Do you feel that the YouTube beauty guru era is beginning to phase out or becoming bigger? I feel like both, honestly. I feel like it's become such a saturated, you know, community on YouTube that people have so many people to watch now that it's just kind of becoming one of those things where you find the people that you like and you just kind of watch them. I personally, I watch makeup videos here and there. Like, sometimes I'll watch a Get Ready With Me, or if I see something that's super interesting, or maybe I discover a new YouTuber and I've never watched a makeup video from them before, I'll watch theirs just because I want to see kind of how they do their makeup. But I don't like watching a ton of makeup tutorials anymore, especially from big YouTubers, like the big makeup gurus. I don't watch those for some reason. I feel like I know a lot about makeup. I'm good at makeup. I like to play around with makeup and stuff like that, but it's not really my focus as far as like what I watch on YouTube anymore. But I still think there's a lot of people that are really into it. I think it just depends on the person. Do I feel like it would be hard to start a beauty channel now? Yes. I feel like if you're gonna start a beauty channel now, there's something else that has to set you apart because there is so many now. You almost have to have something else to draw people in because I feel like YouTube makeup tutorials is just so saturated. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but it's much harder now to get noticed than it used to be. So, Babar 28.
Hi Carah, I just became a new mom. I was just wondering, what surprised you the most becoming a mom yourself?
What surprised me the most? I think honestly what surprised me the most was how easily it is to pick up motherly instincts. Like, I was so scared. I've talked about this in past videos. I was like, I don't even know what the first thing about being a mom. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never changed a diaper in my whole entire life. I don't know anything about children. I wasn't one of those people that was around babies, and I've talked about this before. Like, I was like, girl, I have no idea what I'm doing. But the second you have a baby, your motherly instincts just like kick in and you know exactly what to do. And not with everything, like you still have questions, but it's just crazy how you just become a mom. And like dads are like that. Like Travis even says that. He's like, it's so different with your own baby. And I think I really surprised myself because I was scared to death that I wasn't gonna know what to do and all of that stuff, but I really did pick it up really fast. All in all though, really, what surprised me the most is how much your life kind of changes when you have kids. Like every aspect of your life is different. I'm not saying that in a bad way or anything like that, but everything changes so drastically. Like just driving to the store to pick up a freaking coffee. Like you have to lug your kids, put them in the car, you gotta get them all dressed, put on their shoes, do this, do that, everything else, put them in, strap them in, get in your car, go to the store, get out, take the baby out, you gotta get your coffee, and you lug the baby out, and then you put them like, a lot of things just become a lot more complicated. You have to think about what outfit you're gonna wear because you have to be able to breastfeed. You have to think about bringing the diaper bag. Do you have enough diapers? Do you have enough wipes? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have water? And I think like I knew that, but it's until you actually experience it where you're like, whoa, like everything that you do is just a little bit more complicated. And you start to notice it more as they grow up and get older and when you have more kids. But I think over time you just kind of learn to deal with it and that just becomes life and it's not even really a big deal anymore. So, but I do notice it at times where I'm like, gosh, like I can only imagine what it would be like to be like a single person with like no kids, just be able to like go pick something up or just go to the bank, but it's never that easy when you have kids.
If you could pick Emery and Elena's future careers, what would they be and why?
So I talked about this in a past video and I always said I feel like Emery is going to be like a lawyer. I feel like she's a very outspoken kid, she's very stubborn, she knows what she wants and she will do what she needs to do to get it. That's totally Emery, I feel like, but at the same time she's really shy, so who knows. Elena's gonna be a caretaker. I could see Elena being a nurse or a teacher or something like that. She's so big on like caretaking and taking care of people. She cares so deeply about people's feelings. It's from Larity. I have like the worst time pronouncing names, I swear to God. In a last video you said that you aren't religious. What do you think happens when we die? Good question. I don't know, honestly. I think that's the best way to answer that question. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what happens when we die. I've always kind of felt like just because you want something to be true or want something, like if you believe in a certain idea, that's great, that's fine, that's dandy. Like there's people that believe in reincarnation, there's people that believe in heaven and hell, there's people that believe in all sorts of different things. And if you want to believe in those things, like that's totally awesome, totally cool, like no judgment, but I have a hard time believing something wholeheartedly that isn't like proven to be true. So when it comes to the afterlife, I feel like I'm kind of one of those people that just kind of entertains different ideas. Like I don't know what happens when we die, but entertaining different ideas is fun. Sometimes I try to think of all the possibilities I can possibly think of. Like maybe we die and we walk along this planet as little ghosts. Maybe when we die, we go live on another planet. Maybe when we die, we are reincarnated. Maybe when we die, we are floating around in some astral realm with all of our, you know, relatives. Maybe we do go to some like heavenly paradisey place. I don't know. Like there's so many different things that could possibly be. I don't know. I just kind of live my life pondering and entertaining different ideas and thinking about different things, but I don't believe in any one thing specifically. I don't say, this is what I believe happens after we die. You know, for all we know, it just goes black and we just die. Who knows? But one thing that I do know is whatever happens, it's gonna happen to all of us, and that's just the way it is. So one day it will be really interesting to actually see what happens or not, and I just kind of like to think about it. Would you ever consider permanent makeup? No. No, 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 no. I've seen it done well, and I've also seen it done terribly, and I would just not want to take that risk because I've seen so many people with horribly done permanent makeup, especially eyebrows. I feel like eyebrows just can look really, really bad. I might consider like an eyeliner, like if I did a little bit on my lower lash line and maybe a little on my upper lash line, like a really soft brown, or like blended out, maybe like super dark coffee brown. Maybe I would do that with age. I've seen people do that and it actually looks really natural, especially if you put on a little mascara. I might do something like that, but I would never do eyebrows or like lips or anything like that. That is just too much for me. But maybe like a teeny tiny bit of like eyeliner. Do you ever see yourself quitting YouTube, and when would that be? That's a good question, honestly. I think if I ever were to quit YouTube, it would just be fading out over time. Like I would just start making less videos, and then over time it would just kind of like fizzle out. Don't get me wrong, YouTube can be super frustrating at times, and there's times where I'm like, girl, just give me a regular job. But at the same time, YouTube is such a, I felt so lucky finding YouTube. It is literally one of the best jobs in the world. And even though YouTube can be hard and frustrating sometimes, it is the best job in the world. I know for a fact that YouTubers have it super easy. I mean, yes, it takes time to, you know, find content and put together videos and, you know, be creative and try to think of new creative ideas and things like that. It does take a lot of time and effort, but shoot, like we're our own bosses. Like if I want to just pick up and go on vacation, I can just go on vacation. Like being a YouTuber is one of the best jobs in the whole world, and I feel so lucky to have it. Like, I just literally stumbled into YouTube. I didn't even know that you could like make this type of money on YouTube. I didn't know that it could be like a job. I just did it for fun, and it ended up turning into like this crazy awesome experience. So I'm just rolling with it, and I just kind of see like where it's gonna take me. Who knows? I might quit next year. I might quit in 5 years, but I don't really plan on being like an old lady doing YouTube. I don't plan on doing YouTube like forever by any means. Like I know a lot of people say, oh, I'll do YouTube videos when I'm a granny. I'm not gonna be doing YouTube videos as a granny. There's gonna be a time where I do end up quitting, probably when my kids get up in, you know, the age ranges where it's like, Mom, my friends are watching you on YouTube. Like, I just kind of like to relax into life and just kind of see where it takes me, if you know what I mean. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to be part of the next Q&A, definitely follow me on Snapchat, which is Carah Amelie, one word, and I will try to do these more often for you guys. These videos are super fun to do, and I just love to just sit down and talk to you guys. Just talk about anything. It's fun. I love it. So if you guys have any questions, like really deep questions that you guys want to know, or anything that is really bothering you, or anything like advice or anything like that, you could definitely have to ask those kind of questions as well. I'm almost 31, or I am 31, so I feel like I've lived a while. I can give you guys some advice, especially high school advice, or, you know, graduating from college advice, or marriage advice, or kid advice. Like, I feel like I've lived a lot of life. I mean, for being 30, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not like 60 or anything like that, but anyways, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys later.